Hello and welcome. I'm super excited to show you some exciting updates to Canva's AI suite, specifically Canva Code. Now, if you're a Canva All-Star and you've already been tinkering around, you might have some familiarity with Canva Code, which basically allows you to create all types of interactive content that you can embed within your designs or on a website or other creations. The newest update, though, allows you to now better track engagement with those interactive designs. So if you're anything like me and you were loving these features, but you're wondering if I make a study game or some flashcards, I want to be able to know how my students are doing, who's using it, and how they're performing. And before, you couldn't get that data. But now you can. Thanks to some updates that were around October 30th in the Canva suite, you can now determine some settings with your Canva code to have it log responses and adjust it. And then it can also populate into a Canva sheet, which is basically Canva's version of a spreadsheet. So to get started, I'm going to go through and show you some examples, but then show you where you can start building in Canva code already. So if I pull up my Canva account, I'm going to click this AI button across the top and then code. And code for me is where I can get all of the things I want to make interactive. Once I do that, I can just go through and type a description here. I can also type with my voice. My advice is to be specific, but I'll just be transparent in saying I go through a lot of back and forth with Canva before I finally get the design that I want. So maybe it's just me, but it's very rare for me to have Canva create something that I envisioned or needed right away. And as for the interactive piece, I did find that I had to tell Canva what information I wanted to collect a couple of times before it did that. So for example, I made some interactive biology flashcards here, and I had to tell Canva that I needed to know the student first and last name and their class period. Having been a secondary teacher before, I could have some students with the similar names or similar spellings of names. So having it always log or create text boxes for my students to enter that information was really important for me. All right. So if I go back to Canva code, it gives you some suggestions here of different things that you can make. So if you're just getting started, I suggest picking one of those so you can just get a feel for what it can make. And then after you do that, you enter your response, it's going to spit out some code on the right-hand side of your screen. So here's an example of one that I was making, and this was my interactive biology flashcards. Now, I'll be transparent saying I never taught biology, so I don't know why I picked this topic because I made these flashcards over vocab terms that I don't know super well. It's been a while since I took AP Bio. So basically what I did here is I gave it some instructions where I said, I want it to be an interactive flashcard game for high school AP Biology. And I wanted to specifically be over cell parts is what I decided on later on. And then I told it add a space for students to enter their name and class period so I can track the data. Okay. And then I wanted to also change some things. So initially it was just having students pick the vocab word, but I wanted to have the students practice it just because of that a little bit higher order thinking. But you can, adjust it however you need. And as I was adjusting those, Canva is telling me the changes that it's making over here on this left-hand side. So it, initially it looks like this when it first starts, and then it puts it over into this design. So you could technically copy this code and put it elsewhere. For a while, Canva would not let you copy the code, and it was not easy to embed it. Now you can. I will say if you're trying to pull this code over into other areas, you sometimes have to finagle with it a little bit before it looks good or before it gives you the full interactive feel. Right. So the change here is that now I can track the student data and responses. So the big piece and the big button that's newer is across the top of your screen, there's this data button now. One of the things that I really like is that Canva tells you how the data gets saved. So it kind of walks you through it the first time you're using these features. So it tells me here it's going to do the student, accuracy, class period, terms, time they spent on it. I didn't even tell Canva to do that. It just figured it out on its own, which is kind of nice. I didn't even know I wanted that data, but it's good data to have. So here we go. It even tells me how I use this data. Okay. So technically if you use it in a design, you can see the data or sheet panel, but I found I was getting better results if I just published it. Okay, so I'll show you both. So if I publish this, all right, I already did this once. So you can edit the URL if you need to. I just added bio vocab to the end of mine. You probably won't be able to get a new domain because that's within your Canva admin settings, and I'm a super admin in my district, so I see all the buttons. But whenever I'm ready to go, I can just copy that, and I'm just going to pull it up here in another tab so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to pretend like we're doing this AP Bio vocab. So I'm just going to I'm going to do period 4. All right, powerhouse. I do know that one, mitochondria. Check it. Hooray! Okay, so I can go through all 15 of these terms and see how I do. All right, we just go and it shuffles, and across the top, it's telling me my accuracy, my temps, and my time. So kind of cool. It's doing all this, and this took minimal effort on my part as the teacher. So if I go back to the screen here and I click my data button, it's telling me now that this is going into a Canva sheet. So this is where I can see those student responses. I can see their results and the like. Okay, so, all right, it says new data is now available. So I want to open this data panel, and then over here, I'm going to do refresh data. So it doesn't do that automatically. That's a key thing to know. All right, looks like I messed with this several times when I was demoing this, but here we go. So what's really nice is from here, there's these awesome magic charts feature in Canva. So I can click magic charts and it can create like a radar, bubble plot, bar graph for me based on results. It can show me what terms people are getting accurate, which ones they're not, time spent, all of these different pieces. And if I want my data to look a little bit different or to do different things, this actions button has a bunch of AI features. So it can make a table for me. It can create magic insights. So it can tell me just some of the trends in my data. I can also go back to my initial Canva code and I can have it collect different pieces of data too. So if I want other cells to be filled on that spreadsheet, I can go through here and it will recreate the design. I'll have to publish it again. It's going to create a new version of it, but I can get that response, which is kind of cool. So kind of a way to level up your resources here. I know I had some teachers in my district who were making study tools like this, or the students were even crowdsourcing some information and making them. We had some teachers who were making, iRead and phonics preparation materials. And before, it wasn't very easy to gauge how students were interacting with it and how they were doing. And now you have that opportunity in Canva. So the other piece I'm going to show you is this use in a design. So I love slides. So I'm going to pull this over into a slideshow and just show you how it's a little bit different. So according to the Canva little AI bit here, it says if we use it in a design, in the Canva editor, you'll see a data or sheet panel. Okay. So, and it appears as a spreadsheet. So if I pull this into here, so, all right, this has been an update even from when I did this last time. Now, if I click this, I can get the data. You don't have to do this publish. That's an option. You don't have to. So I could technically have these exist in a slideshow, like what I have right here. And then if I want to share this with my students, I can pop this into my Canva assignment or Canvas assignment. I can get a link and share it with my students. And now it's going to track the results and the responses right there. Just to show you some other examples. So this was a study flashcard example. This is, less something you want to track in data, but you can make countdown timers in Canva code. So, free pretzel day, if anyone's a fan of the TV show The Office, Stanley would be all over that. Another one that I got is inspiration from a colleague of mine, shout out to Michelle, is that she made a dashboard in Canva code of her teachers. She's an administrator, and basically set it up to where they have their professional learning goals they can fill out on here. And only she, she sees this, she's logging them. So maybe they submit their goals and then she populates it. And then they can log their activities on here. And then she has it set up to where it gives them certificates based on what they've done. So she kind of went back and forth with Canva code for a little bit and basically set it up to where it's a professional learning dashboard for her staff to log their PD hours, to refresh their goals, and for her to award PGP certificates along the way. So this is something that teachers can certainly use, but administrators can too, anyone in professional development. Really, the opportunities are endless. So have fun with Canva code. These new updates are just fabulous, and I would love to know what you think and what creations that you make.